Just on Mondays? All right.
Yeah.
Good.
You like on Gator Bowl.
Yeah.
Gator Bowl time. Let's go Gator Bowl off the top, okay? You won't
Is that-
do that. No, you're still pissed off, aren't you? Yeah. All right.
Ronald Darby did not play yesterday. Was that what was that related to?
I just think Buster's been playing well, and really just giving him an opportunity right now.
So is that a permanent switch that Buster?
Yeah, moving forward, I think with the last 3 games, I think you'll see Buster and hopefully get a chance to see Trey Prince and just kind of see where he's at as well. But yeah, Buster's been playing really well.
It wasn't a disciplinary thing or anything like
No, not at all.
When you're at this point in the season, it's just the time to see what the younger guys kind of have to know what you have moved forward.
Yeah, if you get an opportunity, you're still trying to go out and compete to win the game, right? So, but if you get a chance to play one of your young players, and it's a good time to do it, then we'll do it.
How do you balance that? Give a young guy a chance that maybe you haven't seen, but still try to make sure you put the team in the best position to win.
Yeah, I mean it's you think about Trey Prince, right? He's been active a lot this year, but just hasn't seen the field as much. So I think that's a great example, of a guy that and a young player who dresses and really I want to see defensively and also on special teams, what he can do, and this will be a good time to get that done.
Speaking
Nice.
of
Go ahead.
young players that are kind of getting their opportunity, Brenton Strange with Evan Ingram, he kind of took advantage of that on Sunday. How much growth have you seen from Brenton over the last kind of 2 years?
Yeah, I mean, Brenton's been a bright spot for us. Somebody who we've always, as a staff, really have had a lot of confidence in, and I think too for Brenton, it's just a matter of getting that opportunity, and now he has it, obviously, under unfortunate circumstances. But he really has just been a bright spot. He's done everything we've asked. He's does a great job in the run game. He's physical, and then you're seeing what he can do in the pass game. Strong hands, ability to separate and get open, and then break tackles. And it's what you want really from your tight end.
You guys went unbalanced line, I think, a play or two yesterday, short yardage. Is that brought in mainly for that? And I think you had 4 tight ends with a couple extra offensive linemen on one snap. Was that more just to get the short yardage offense?
Some of it, and then some of it's just to take advantage of just the way the defense shifts themselves over. It creates sometimes an extra gap. Executed it well. We've honestly carried it for the last several weeks. We just haven't shown it, until yesterday. But guys executed well, and it was good to see more 3rd and 1s, 2s, 3s, a little more manageable 3rd downs a little bit yesterday than some of the longer ones.
Does it get more difficult to keep the guys locked in the closer you get to the end?
It becomes a challenge. But I'll tell you, the guys have really, I haven't seen it yet, any sort of disconnect, and obviously that falls on my shoulders, right, to make sure that doesn't happen, and just continue to lean on the guys, the leadership guys, and we got 3 games, we got 3 games left, and you want to be able to go out and play well and win these 3 games and give yourself a chance each Sunday. But I haven't seen that yet, and that's positive for the guys in the locker room.
Tyson said earlier today that you, in terms of motivate, you play for the guy next to you, and is that as good a reason as any at this point to play this game for each other?
Yeah, that's a great answer. Look, we spend so much time together, coaches and players, that obviously players play for certain reasons, but I think the biggest one is to play for the guy next to them, and you want to do right and do your job so that he can do his job, and all 11 can do theirs. So that's what they do. They battle and they fight for one another, and that's encouraging.
And with everything that's happened this year, the injuries, the adversity, is this a bunch of guys that still, almost to a man, get along, love each other, play for each other?
They do.
This is a good locker room in that regard.
Yeah, they do. It's a great locker room that way. Even just you take it one step further from the locker room to the game, to the sideline, to the week of practice and preparation. I mean, they continue to lift each other up, encourage one another, coach each other on the field, which is good to see. And so it just shows you have a strong, united locker room that are gonna battle for each other.
What happened on the play where Adams was wide open on the sideline and late in the fourth quarter on the one that got down to the 1 yard line?
Yeah.
Obviously, it was a coverage bust, but
Unfortunately, it was a missed assignment. Mesh concept underneath, and we just passed it off, and we passed the one side and we carried the other side, so it was just a missed assignment.
How can that still be happening at this point in the season?
That's the challenge as coaches right now. We got to continue to find ways to make sure the information is passed along properly, and it's up to the player obviously to digest and ask questions on certain things, but and sometimes too, in the heat of the moment, in the heat of the battle, you get kind of locked in on the man over you a little bit, and you I don't want to say you lock up or freeze up, because you don't do that, but you just sort of lose track of what you need to be doing, and you're focused on that one guy, and then sometimes just being able to take a deep breath and I think see the big picture can help.
Walker came off for a little bit. Came off a little bit with an ankle, I guess. What's his status for this?
He just rolled his ankle. He should be fine.
Did you come out with any other injuries? Yesterday, pretty clean.
Pretty healthy yesterday. Just normal nicks from the game, but yeah, came out pretty good.
How much has Brian grown over the course of the year, Thomas?
No, I think Brian's grown a lot. I can remember back right after the draft when you get him in here and start working with him and just watching that development, that growth to where he is today as a receiver and one of the top young receivers in this league and obviously a big part of our offense and just a bright spot. It's been encouraging to see his growth and what he's capable of doing. Going back and watching him on film, coming out of LSU to today, some of the same things. Some of the explosiveness and we continue each week to load his plate up, and give him more opportunities and really expand, I think, his route tree just a little bit more. Has been good, and he embraces that well.
Would he have been able to handle the role he has now, being forced into being, I guess, the biggest playmaker you've got, the guy the offense kind of runs through earlier in the season? Would he have been able to handle that if been forced into with injuries earlier? You know what I mean?
I think he could have. I think he could have. I really do. I think early in the season, when we had everybody, we were just finding ways to get him the ball at that point. Just plugging him in with Christian and Evan and Gabe and everybody. And but now these last couple of weeks, it's kind of been his show. And he's really done a nice job. And as the season's progressed, each week we've given him more. So again, just been a big bright spot for us on offense.
When so many of the losses kind of feel similar in the game, late, a play here, a play there, a mistake, blown coverage, how frustrating is that when it's this late in the season and it almost feels like almost Groundhog Day for some of these losses?
That's the tough part sometimes of what we do as coaches, myself, to try to sometimes figure out the whys. Players ask us why all the time on certain things, and for me, it's to find out the whys. You know, why are we still making some of the same mistakes? And you know, it's got to work two ways, right? The coaches have to obviously explain the information and teach the information in a way that the player can understand, and then the player has to digest it and ask questions back. And that's what I have encouraged the players to do more of, is just, I mean, if you don't know something, ask, right? I mean, that's why we go out and practice, and you know, questions come up all the time, and make sure you get the answers that you need, you know, going into the game, so that you can just play free. You know, your mind's free, and you're just seeing things, and you're reacting to what you see. And and look, mistakes are going to happen, right? I mean, they're going to happen. But you know, we've got to do our part to minimize and really try to eliminate some of the mistakes we're making.
What steps does Mac have to take over these next 2 weeks to kind of get over the turnover problem that's kind of popped up the last few weeks?
Yeah, you know, I mean, the first one yesterday, I think, you know, I think both of them he'd like to have back. I mean, quite frankly, I think he just, the location of the ball where he threw them, you know, was not where he wanted them to be. And just sometimes in situations, just understand the situation too that you're in, and end of the game is different than a third down and, you know, the middle of the game, right? So sometimes just take what the defense gives you, and these are things that he can continue to improve, and we can show him as coaches, and sometimes just put the ball in play. If we end up punting, we punt, and it's not a big deal. It's not the end of the day, but those are things that he can do, you know, take another step, obviously. But he played well yesterday. You know, he played well. He played tough, some good scrambles in there, played physical, got a little chippy in there, which is good to see. You know, but I think those two throws he definitely want back.
How did he explain the run out of bounds sack there late in the first half? I think it was late in the first half, right?
Yeah, we got to dive into the weeds in that one a little bit more. You know, and really, because of where it was on the field, it's not a play that was going to hurt you as much, because then you still had a third down play. We ended up kicking the field goal there, got 3 points. But, you know, sometimes just don't get caught up in the emotion of the game sometimes, and, you know, possibly throw it away or whatever, find a guy. But it didn't hurt us in that situation, you know, which was okay. The other one early on, you know, there was a penalty in the end zone when he took the long sack on that one. Obviously saw the flag thrown there, so that one was nullified. But you know, it's just the awareness of the situation.
Has he really embraced this opportunity? And I'm sure he knows it goes without having to be said. He knows what this means for him moving forward. Has he really embraced all that means?
Yeah, he really has. You know, I think he's taken each game, you know, in stride, and he knows his situation, you know, from a career standpoint too, and not only helping us win right now, but I think too he's obviously auditioning for maybe a potential, you know, spot down the road for maybe another team, right, something like that. So he knows, he continues to improve, he continues to get better, and it's good, and it's good to see him do that, and you know, the fact that we were able to, you know, put up some points yesterday and play as well as he did is a step in the right direction.
You hold your breath when Ledbetter did the backflip?
Yeah, somebody said he did that. I didn't see it.
Didn't see it?
No.
Yeah.
I'll have to
Did
go
you
look
know
for
he
it.
could do a flip?
I did not know. Did not know. I know some of the guys can, but I didn't think he could. But yeah, pretty talented.
No.
Yeah.
Were you able to do that in your prime?
No. Not at all.
All right. Hey, thank you, Coach. Thanks for the time.
All right, guys.